Hey guys, welcome back to my series on how to make printables and templates step by step. So this is part of a playlist. They are short and sweet videos, but I wanted to sort of step you through the process of exactly how to make certain things that I sell on Etsy. So today we are talking all about So today, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing place cards. Now, there's a couple of things to remember with place cards and when we're selling them on Etsy. So the first thing is that the market that we're selling to, it's hugely skewed to the USA. So I typically make all my place cards sized for the customers who are over in the USA. And on all of my stores, I actually offer an option for them to sort of contact me and change the size of the listings if they need to. But I find sort of that sort of standard place card size for the USA fits the bill for most people, and that size is 3.5. And that size is 3.5 by 2 inches once it's folded over. So I'm going to go and jump in and show you how to create a place card because they are a fantastic product and very easy to make and sell on Etsy. So I'm already logged into my template dashboard. Just a quick note before we get started, I am running template version 2. If you have sort of signed up to template and you're running version 1, you can contact template and they will upgrade you to version 2. That is not a worry at all. So I'm going to jump in, and what I'm going to select is Tentfold. I'm going to set my name as place card. We have the option of inches, millimeters, or pixels. I'm going to go with inches because, again, we're thinking of our US customers. 3.5 inches wide by 2 high. And when we are using that Tentfold, we only have to put in the folded size. Template will calculate all the sort of other back flap thing that we need on there itself. So we don't need to worry about that. Hit create. And there you can see my place card is ready. Okay, so ready to start jumping in and designing. I have got my place card here. And if I go to my pages, you can see I can add multiple pages as a customer. So it's a very, very usable way to create a template. Typically, when I'm making place cards as a template to sell to a customer, I will just do sort of the first one, and then they can duplicate that as many times as they need. So typically when I design a place card, I will pop in sort of some themed designs. Beautiful. So I might make that a little bit bigger, and I'm going to go with sort of a stylized name over to the side. So instead of going center, I'm going to make that right aligned. Now I'm going to go to text. I'm just going to add sort of a default name. I'm going to make sure that text is sort of extended a little bit because we don't want that text box to be too small, because if they type in a longer name, it sort of won't work properly. It'll drop down to the next line. So we want to make sure that text box is brought right out. Now I'm going to set that to go right aligned, and I'm also going to change the font. So one of my favorite fonts is by Peach Cream, and I will add a link to them below. They do have a license for template, which is pretty awesome that they cater for sellers who are selling templates, because there's not a lot of sort of font artists willing to do that. So Peach Cream, I will drop a link to them, and this is one of their fonts. It's beautiful. And I find customers really request this font quite a lot. So now below that, I'm going to add a section for the table number. Again, I'm going to pull out that text box and I'm going to make it small so that it sort of sits just below. And I'm also going to align that one just so it lines up with the side of the name. I am going to change the font to Railway. Looking good. I'm going to grab both of those and I'm just going to make sure they're centered on the page, which they are. You can tell because that sort of purple line, which is like an invisible guide, it shows up and it tells you when that is centered to the page. One final touch I always like to do if I'm using sort of this block text is just to space it out a little bit. I find it's much easier to read. And just a quick note, this is currently 10 point. I would suggest not ever going below 8 point for your text. So always make sure it's 8 point or above, because otherwise it just becomes unreadable, especially for older guests who love to go to weddings. So we want to make sure that everyone can read our designs. Beautiful. So that is done. I'm going to go across and I'm going to add this flower by copying it. So right click, copy. You can also go Control C on the dashboard. And I'm going to click on the back, right click, and I'm going to paste it in place so that it is pasted in exactly the same place. Beautiful, and this template is done. Now, typically I find place cards are folded, but I also like to include a flat version of this. So I'm going to show you exactly how I would do that. I always make them the same design, and I just let people know that on the listing that they get both folded and flat with their place cards. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go Control A, and that is going to select everything on this artboard. Right click, copy. Now I'm going to go New. I'm going to hit single this time, and make sure you don't hit double-sided because you want them to be able to add as many pages as possible. So hit single, place card, the sizes are in there already. It's so usable, this program, I love it. Hit create. Beautiful, and there I've got my base flat place card. I'm going to hit right click, paste in place, and that is done. So all I have to do is save that and link it up to Etsy now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was really helpful. Again, it's part of a playlist, so I will link that just here. And yeah, if you like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel. Maybe leave me a comment below. Let me know what to make next. Would love to hear from you. And I will see you guys soon.